Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to True Sim Productions. I'm your host, Winston Deal from the WD Broadcasting Network on Facebook. Tonight we are live from the North Wilkesboro Speedway for race number 10 of the All-Star Racing League Chestnut Hill Late Model Stock Series. The race info up right here. Race 10 of 12 here at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. Kind of cool air temp, but you see on the track 111 degrees. Going to be pretty slick out there. Little wind to shove these drivers down the straightaway. But tonight we race in honor of the late great Sam Scarpelli. So we will have 96 laps here tonight. Right now, top of the board, your winner last week, your winner the week before, 2 weeks in a row for Brian Voss. He is currently on the top spot in qualifying. Brandon Elvis just finished his second lap. He is in the third spot currently. We have 7 cars that have taken time so far, 6 more left to go. One of those is Justin Coleman, the 14 machine. We'll see what Coleman can do. So we've got 3 minutes left here in the qualifying session. Justin Coleman working through turns 3 and 4. He comes across the line. First lap time for Coleman. Gonna put him 5th quick, a 18.88. Chris Smith jumps up to the 4th spot. That'll knock Justin Coleman back to the 6th position. Coleman finished 2nd last week behind Brian Voss. We'll see what he can do on lap number 2. Slows it down just a little bit. So we've got 3 more cars left to qualify. Dalton Creech in the 36 machine. Justin Elvis goes to the 9th spot on lap number 1. Creech on his first lap time. He goes to the 3rd spot in 18.80 for Dalton Creech on lap number 1. What can he do his 2nd time around? Does he have anything for your pole sitter, Brian Voss? He comes up out of turns 3 and 4 across the stripe right there. 2nd lap time for Dalton Creech. Drops it off just a little bit. So Brian Voss gets the jump here in qualifying. Brad Carpenter still has not laid down a lap time. He's got 1 minute and 41 seconds to do so. Coming into this evening, Brandon Elvis, your points leader in the 54 machine. He's got an 11-point advantage over Brian Voss, who has won the last 2 races here in the Chestnut Hill Late Model Stock Series. So we'll see where our top 2 competitors end up after tonight's race. Justin Coleman's right there as well in the 14. He's got 2 wins. He is 29 points back from the top spot. But Coleman with 2 victories. Brian Voss has 4 victories now in the season. Brandon Elvis has 3. The other victory going to Zach Murphy in the All-Star race at Nashville Fairgrounds. We've got about 40 seconds left here in qualifying. Brad Carpenter making his run in the 31 machine. As he pulls it through turns 3 and 4, he's coming to the green flag right here. Green is up and Brad Carpenter is underway in qualifying. The line here at North Wilkesboro, very unique. You just got to try and turn as late as you can into turns 1 and 2 and point that car to the exit of the corner. 3 and 4 is a little bit easier in my opinion. You can just kind of drive it in high off the banking and use the hill to turn the race car and turn it down the racetrack. Lap number 1 for Carpenter in 18.92, and that is going to wrap up our qualifying session. So we will grab a word from our fast qualifier, Brian Voss, picking up the pole in tonight's 96 lap race. We'll see if we can get Brian up into the voice chat. Brian Voss up into the booth. You've won the last 2 races. You start on the pole here tonight. 96 laps in honor of a legend. What can you do to pick up the victory?
Well, man, like every week, just stay out of trouble, I think. I'm not sure what we're going to have on a long run here. Hopefully, just keep the tires on it. It seems the tire degradation is pivotal here, it seems like, in the practice.
Yeah, definitely got to keep the tires on it. I expect to see some long green flag runs here tonight, so you're definitely gonna have to save your stuff to be there at the end. But nonetheless, you're gonna have a good starting spot for this 96 lap race. We wish you luck, Brian, and hopefully we can talk to you later on.
All right, thanks, Winston.
Yes, sir. Alrighty, that was Brian Voss, driver of the number 56 machine this week. Usually used to seeing him in the 55. We'll get our starting lineup on screen. Brian Voss, your pole sitter in the 56. Connor Lee going to roll off in the 2nd spot in the 8. Dalton Creech starts 3rd in the 36 machine with Brandon Elvis, your points leader, to his outside. Row number 3 will be Christopher Smith in the 80 machine, and Adam Fulford is outside in the 96. And then in the 7th spot, it'll be Justin Coleman in the 14, and Owen Zacharias in the 35. Back behind them, row number 5, going to be Brad Carpenter in the 31, and Brandon Kelly rounds out your top 10 in the 9 machine. Justin Elvis will start 11th next to David Rogers in the 13, and rounding out our field, it'll be the 79 of Jeffrey Miller. So the field is down the back straightaway in the hands of Brian Voss and Connor Lee. As we make our way through turns 3 and 4, the field going to make their way through the Coleman Design restart zone, and we are off, and we are underway for 96 laps here at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. Off into turns 1 and 2. Brian Voss gets the early advantage, but here comes Connor Lee making a charge on the outside, trying to do it the long way around on lap number 1. Through turns 3 and 4. Lee not going to be able to get the power down. Voss is going to lead lap number 1. And the caution flag is out. David Rogers in the 13 spun around the wrong way on the front straightaway. I don't see much damage on that machine. Looks like he's able to get back going. We will see what exactly happened. Battling with Justin Elvis and Brad Carpenter for the 10th spot. Looks like he just might have gotten a little bit loose up off the corner and came across the nose of that 44 machine of Elvis. And around went the 13. We'll get one more view of this on board with Rogers. Yeah, you see the wheel to the right and out of the gas pedal a little bit. And around went Rogers, so the caution flag is out for the first time here this evening. Brian Voss, your pole sitter, your race leader, 3 laps in. Connor Lee was able to hang on to that 2nd spot. He had Dalton Creech to his inside, but Creech did not get enough time to get the power down and make a run for that 2nd position. Everybody else kind of stays where they were as well. First change for position was Brandon Kelly sneaking around Brad Carpenter in the 31. So Brian Voss trying to do what he has done the past 2 weeks and put this 56 machine in victory lane. So right now the field working their way through turns 3 and 4. I believe they will see the 1 to go signal right here. 1 lap to go. Lights off on the iRacing.com pace car. We are ready to send them back green. It'll be Brian Boss, Connor Lee once again bringing us back to the green flag. As they work their way down into turns 3 and 4. The field's going to bunch up right here, and we'll go through the Coleman Design restart zone once again. The flag is up. We are underway. Better start that time for Lee in the 8 machine. Boss leads them down into turns 1 and 2. So everybody bunching up, trying to stay as close as they can. Across the line. Battle for the third spot is still on. Brandon Robinson, 54, trying to make his way around. That's the battle for the third spot. You see Justin Coleman and Chris Smith back behind them. Coleman up 2 spots. Trying to move ahead. Stuck on the back. Goes through the line. Turns 1 and 2. Owen Zacharias. Number 10 for Connor Lee in the second spot right there. Brandon reaching the 36. Just the outside lane. Putting his foot in the gas pedal. Made his way around. Brad Carpenter underneath Brandon Kelly in the 9. Side here and it turns 3 and 4. Kind of had to back out of it there, got up on the curb. Coleman doing what he can to not get into the back bumper of the 36. Track position very, very important here. You do not want to get involved in a yellow flag and get set to the rear of the field. A lot of these drivers can go patiently there at the end. You see the line right here. Ryan Ross about to leave the 56. Still just about 3 car lengths into turns 3 and 4. The field trying to keep that 56 within their reach. We've got a 6-car breakaway. This making the 6th position. And then it's a whole second gap back to Adam Fulford and Brad Carpenter, who currently battle for the 7th spot. Carpenter on the inside trying to make the run. Looks very tough to pass. Wiggle out of the 96 right there, but he's still able to get the run on the top side. That's the hard thing about these late model stock cars here at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. Just very hard to get the power down when you're on the inside. And you see when 2 cars are side by side, look what it does to the cars behind them. They all kind of bunch up. There, Adam Fulford is able to take the position from Brad Carpenter. Carpenter going to fall back in line, but not so fast. Here comes the 31 right back to the bottom side. Loose up off the corner. Owen Zacharias underneath Brandon Kelly right there too. Big wiggle from the 31 of Brad Carpenter. He's going to drop back again. Carpenter up to racetrack. Here comes Zacharias to the bottom, maybe. Look back up in front of him, though. Look at Justin Coleman taking a peek to the inside of Dalton Creech once again. A little bit of contact off the corner that time. Creech really leaving the bottom open on the entry of the corner. And Coleman's able to peek the nose in there, just not able to make it stick through the center. Here comes another big run from the 14. Down to the inside, he dives in. He's going to be door to door with the 36 of Dalton Creech. Up off the corner. Justin Coleman trying to take away the 4th position. on the bottom side, just trying to make it work. Ooh, contact there. And it turns 3 and 4 that time. Sorry, Creech went up the racetrack. Coleman kind of swerved down the track. Might have just gotten together up off the corner. Brandon Elvis gets around Connor Lee for the second spot. So move Brandon Elvis up into position number 2. Dalton Creech back behind. Big sideways moment off the corner that time. Did a great job hanging on to that race car. As here comes Chris Smith to the inside of the 36. Creech up the racetrack on the exit right there again. Definitely got to be nice to these tires. Those big pushes up off the corner are going to overheat that right front tire very quick. And those twitches like that you just saw are going to overheat that right rear tire. So these guys got to try to slide those tires as little as possible. They do get a set of tires in the pits if we get a caution flag at a convenient time. And oops, speaking of, Owen Zacharias around in the 35. So the caution flag is out, and we'll get to see if that pit strategy unfolds. Jeffrey Miller up into the outside wall. Zacharias kind of at a weird spot right there. The field not with the biggest visibility right there. Rogers was able to sneak by. We'll see what happened to the 35 machine. Looks like contact from the back bumper contact to the back bumper. Brad Carpenter in the 31 got into him right there. We'll see what happened to Jeffrey Miller. It's up the racetrack, nowhere to go at all. Looks like no takers on pit road. Your top 7 stay out. Adam Fulford right there in the 96. He comes down pit road. Brad Carpenter there. All these drivers getting right side tires. Owen Zacharias in the 35 after spinning right there. He's going to get a set of right side tires. Jeffrey Miller as well. But Brian Voss is your race leader. We're going to take a quick step away here under this caution break. We'll be right back on the WT Broadcasting Network on True Sim Productions.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Alrighty, folks, we are back here on True Sim Productions. Gonna get ready to send the field back to the green flag. I believe we will see the 1 to go signal this time by a lot of the drivers beginning to double up. And the lights do go off on the iRacing.com pace car. And it's going to be your top 2 drivers in the point standings. Brandon Elvis leads up on the top side. He leads the point standings, I should say. Ryan Voss leads the race. Elvis has been to victory lane 3 times. Ryan Voss has been to victory lane 4 times, including the last 2 races. What can these drivers do? We'll be sending them back green with 30 laps in and 66 to go. Green flag is back out. We are back underway. Ryan Voss gets the good jump right there on the restart. Elvis is able to slip back in line. Here comes Justin Coleman. in the 14 machine. Shot out of a cannon on that outside lane. He's trying to take away the third spot from Connor Lee. Ooh, contact. Dalton Creech into the back bumper of Lee. Big save right there off the corner. A lot of cars could have gotten torn up right there. Everybody was able to hang on. Connor Lee now going to lose that 4th position to Chris Smith. Ooh, shuts the door on Adam Fulford in the 96. Remember, Fulford, one of the first cars down pit road on new tires. Trying to put him to good use right here and find his way into the top 5. But here comes Dalton Creech in the 36. After he got shuffled out of the way. That contact got him out of shape as well. Trying to take away the 6th spot back from Adam Fulford. He's able to get by into turns 1 and 2. Justin Elvis behind him trying to take away the 8th spot from Brandon Kelly. Everybody very close here at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. Ooh, David Rogers nearly got into the back bumper of Justin Elvis that time. Elvis loose up off the corner. That 111-degree track temperature really coming into play here. You can see these guys definitely struggling a little bit. Ooh, contact. David Rogers in the grass. Rogers still in the grass. He's able to get it back onto the racing surface, but he is going to lose a lot of time right there. 1.5 seconds behind Jeffrey Miller, and he is 10th out of 11th out of 12 cars on the lead lap. We check back up front. Brian Voss still your race leader. He's got Brandon Elvis back behind him as well. Justin Coleman's right there too. These 3 battled all race long last week at Martinsville. Elvis made the move to come down pit road late in the race to get tires. And though most of the field followed him and he was able to get back up to the front and finish 3rd, Brian Voss and Justin Coleman would stay out and take that victory from him. He led most of that race, but that late pit strategy changed everything for the 54 last week. We'll see if strategy comes in to play in tonight's race. We are still shy of that halfway point. Let's look at Justin Coleman in the 14 machine, creeping up to the back bumper of Brandon Elvis in the 54. He's trying to make a run for the top spot. We've still got a 5-car breakaway. Dalton Creech in the 6th position, trying to hold off Adam Fulford and Brandon Kelly, both drivers on new tires. Creech up over the curb that time. That is not going to do him any favors. And if you're Dalton Creech, I think you're definitely going to have to come down this next caution flag, if we get a caution flag, and get a new set of Hoosier tires. Back up front, Brian Voss continues to hold the race lead. We're about 3 laps shy of the halfway point. Voss is just doing a good job controlling this race lead. It's only about 3 car lengths to Brandon Elvis, but he's just being glass smooth and keeping that 56 machine out front. Battle on once again. Owen Zacharias underneath Adam Fulford. Zacharias actually 1 lap down, so that battle not for position. Zacharias trying to make up some ground. Back up front, Brian Voss going to come back around and see the halfway point. Cross flags are up, cross flags halfway in, halfway home. 46 more laps to go here at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. We've still got a 5-car breakaway. The fastest car on the racetrack right now looks to be the 54, Brandon Elvis. We'll see what the times look like this time Very close, though, in the top 5. That time it was Justin Coleman by just a little bit. So everybody close on time. Just margin, or a small margin between your top 5. Only 6/100ths of a second all the way through the top 5. So definitely a lot of fast drivers here tonight. As Coleman once again looks in to try and take over the second position. As Elvis is still hanging on to that spot for now. Brian Voss is your race leader. Brandon Elvis in the second spot. Justin Coleman runs third right now. Chris Smith in the fourth spot. Connor Lee rounds out your top 5. We're going to take a quick step away here on lap number 50 of our 96 scheduled laps here at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. You guys won't miss a thing, though, because we will go WD Broadcasting Network nonstop. Alrighty, folks, we are back here on on True Sim Productions. 55 laps in here at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. Brian Voss still your race leader right now in the 56 machine. Justin Coleman rides in the third spot. Brandon Elvis, your points leader, right there in the second position. Coleman trying to take over the second spot. We saw it a lot over the break. Just putting a lot of pressure on the 54. Come back around, it'll be lap 58 and the caution flag is out. Not sure what the caution flag was for, but Owen Zacharias was slow in the 35. We'll see what the caution was. Looks like the 35 of Zacharias in the 12th spot right now, a lap down. Not sure what exactly the caution flag was for right there. But the field is down pit road. We'll see what exactly happened. I'll try and get a view after we look at the pit stops right here. Brian Voss, your race leader down pit road. Right side's up, and he's going to get out of the pits with the race lead. Elvis will roll off second, then Justin Coleman third. Let's see if we can find what exactly happened. Oh, Brad Carpenter and Adam Fulford tangled up right here. Yeah, you see the incident right there. We'll see if we can get it before. There we go. Looks like they were nearly 4 wide in turns 1 and 2. And Fulford on the bottom side. Carpenter came down the racetrack. And they were both in the grass after that. But the caution flag is out here for the second time this evening. Sorry, for the third time this evening. We are 60 laps in this time by Chris Smith in the 80 machine. Playing a little bit of strategy. Him and Connor Lee electing to stay out under this caution flag. Brian Voss, Brandon Elvis, and Justin Coleman currently 6th, 7th, and 8th. So they're going to have to make up some ground here on this restart. And up to this point, the only race leader we have had was Brian Voss. Took the lead from the get-go. Hasn't really had to look back since. He's going to have to make his way through the field now. A lot of different pit strategy here this evening. As the lights drop on the iRacing.com pace car, the field gets the 1 to go signal. And we will be going back green flag racing this time by. It'll be in the hands of Chris Smith and Connor Lee as they work their way down into turns 3 and 4. We'll be sending them back green, just over 30 laps to go through the Coleman Design Restart Zone. We are back racing here at North Wilkesboro. Chris Smith down into turns 1 and 2 with the early race lead. Connor Lee into the second spot. Brandon Kelly and David Rogers are right there as well, battling for the third position. And look right there, Brian Voss, Brandon Elvis, and Justin Coleman all hungry to get back to the front as quickly as they can. Battle right there for the third position. Brandon Kelly trying to hang on the top side on those older tires. Brian Voss, though, just with those fresh tires, able to get the run on the bottom side, make that car stick on the bottom. When we get back around next time by, we will have 30 laps to go. Brandon Elvis to the inside of Kelly in the 9. We've got 30 laps to go for Chris Smith, trying to hang on to the race lead. Him and Connor Lee elected to not come down pit road. We've got another caution flag out. Justin Elvis in the 54 machine turned around in turns 3 and 4. Cautions breed cautions. You know what they say. We'll see what happened. Him and David Rogers battling. It looks like the 13 just, big contact there. 44 of Elvis up into the outside wall. Not sure what happened. We'll try and get a view from up above and see if we can't figure out what caused that incident right there. So we'll see if we can get a view of this one more time. Down the back straightaway. We'll see if Rogers came off the wall. Looks like the 13, it comes down the racetrack. Not sure what happened there. But the 13 of Rogers definitely just came down the racetrack. Not sure if he misjudged that gap or what exactly went wrong for the 13 machine. But Elvis is able to keep that car rolling after he got it turned back around. Right now we work lap 69 out of 96. Your race leader is Chris Smith, who's going to have another shot to get away on this restart. Connor Lee gladly will take that caution flag after he had Brian Voss right there on his back bumper. Justin Coleman, though, was able to get around Brandon Elvis and take over that fourth position. Elvis going to be back down on the bottom lane. But it's definitely going to be an interesting restart here. Your front two cars have not gone down pit road and taken tires. And at this point in the race, your bet is made pretty much. If you gotta hold on to this race lead, and you can't come get tires unless you fall back through the field and we get another caution flag. But right here at this point in the race, your bet is made, and you gotta hang on to that race lead at all costs. And that is what Chris Smith is trying to do. Has not gotten to victory lane this season in ASRL competition. Would love to make the trip here tonight at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. As the lights drop off on the iRacing.com pace car, we are going to get ready to send the field back to the green flag. Smith going to start from the bottom lane. As the field creeps up through turns 3 and 4, the field bunches together through the Coleman Design restart zone, and we are back underway. Chris Smith got a good jump right there. Connor Lee not able to get down into the second spot. That's going to open the door for Brian Voss, but here comes Lee. He is clear for the second position. Voss and Coleman now battle for the third spot. Justin Coleman on the outside of Brian Voss, trying to take over the third position. And if you're Chris Smith, this is exactly what you want to see. You just want these two cars to battle back behind you and not get a chance to run you down. Once these guys get a little bit of heat in their tires, it's going to bring that advantage from having those new tires down quite a bit. But Justin Coleman trying to get that 14 machine out ahead. Big moment there for Chris Smith up off the corner. You saw him lose several car lengths to Connor Lee. It's going to bring the A to Lee back into view. Ryan Voss able to pull ahead at the line right there. But Coleman just at the end of the straightaway shoots back ahead. Look at Connor Lee taking a peek to the inside, trying to take over the race lead. 21 laps to go at the line right here. Chris Smith under fire from the 8 machine of Connor Lee. He's got Justin Coleman on his back bumper behind him. Here comes Coleman to the outside of Connor Lee for the second position. Justin Coleman up top. Here comes Brandon Elvis trying to take over the outside lane as well. It looks like Justin Coleman is able to get by Connor Lee, move Coleman up into the second spot here with 20 laps to go. Justin Coleman putting on a show up on the outside. Here he comes again, driving up around Chris Smith right here. He's going to have to pinch him low on the bottom side. We've got 19 to go. Dead even at the line, but I think Justin Coleman might have taken the race lead. And Coleman points that race car off the exit of turns 1 and 2, and he takes over the race lead. Justin Coleman shot out of a cannon on that restart, and he has taken over the top spot. 18 laps to go. Brian Voss, your pole sitter, trying to get past the 8 machine of Connor Lee for the third position. But Justin Coleman is out front. He's got those fresh tires. He's just got to hang on for 17 more laps. Coleman trying to pick up his 5th victory of the season. Or sorry, his 3rd victory of the season. And bring that points gap back a little bit. Currently 29 points to Brandon Elvis. Elvis runs in the 5th spot right now. That gap could get pretty small. As, Chris Smith up the racetrack in turns 1 and 2. He's going to lose several positions. Smith in the 80 machine. Something must have went wrong there, as he loses 4 spots right there. As we have 15 laps to go. Ryan Voss in the 2nd position. He's got to try and track down your race leader, Justin Coleman. We'll see who is faster across the line this time. As Connor Lee and Brandon Elvis make a little bit of contact that time for 3rd. Voss that time the quickest car on the racetrack. As we watch this battle for the third spot, we got to keep an eye on the gap up front. Brian Voss trying to track down Justin Coleman. Coleman did a good job on that restart, just keeping the throttle pinned on that outside lane. As Connor Lee wiggles in turns 1 and 2, gets up to racetrack a little bit. Elvis was able to get down and around on the bottom side. As, Chris Smith pulls that machine down pit road. Problems for the 80 of Chris Smith. He is down pit road. Pulled it down very, very late. But trouble for the 80 machine. Right side tires going up. May have had a little bit of fuel issues. Not quite sure what the distance these guys were given. But Justin Coleman works his way through turns 3 and 4 right here. He'll see 10 laps to go. 10 to go for Justin Coleman. Trying to pick up his 3rd victory of the season. But he's got to hold off Brian Voss. Meanwhile, back in the 3rd spot, Dalton Creech trying to knock Brandon Elvis off of the podium. Look at the gap up front. Justin Coleman has 9/10 of a second to Brian Voss. Remember, he won last night if you were watching the Barry Elvis Performance and Fabrication Super Series. Coleman won last night by 5 seconds in the Supers. Chris Smith ended up 2nd, and Brandon Elvis finished 3rd. As, the caution flag is out. David Rogers in the 13 is around in turns 1 and 2, and that is not what Justin Coleman wanted to see. Your race leader was out to about a 2nd lead over Brian Voss in the 55, and that is all gone away here with 6 laps to go. We'll see what happened to David Rogers in the 13. We see him battling with Justin Elvis in the 44. Looks like he just got loose in the center of turns 1 and 2, and nowhere for the 44 of Justin Elvis to go. He was already in the gas by that point in the corner. And that'll put us under caution for a 5th time here tonight. Connor Lee decides it is time for him to come down pit road. We've got 5 laps remaining here at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. We'll come back to 4 right here. And I believe this will be the first of 2 possible green-white checkered attempts. The drivers of the All-Star Racing League are given 2 attempts at the green-white checkered finish. We'll see if we need to use another. But Coleman is your leader. He's got to do a good job on this restart. I bet Brian Voss is going to put up one heck of a fight in the 56. Last night on the restarts, Justin Coleman elected to take that outside lane. But we'll see what he does right here. As the field gets the two to go signal that time by. We've got 2 weeks left in this season of All-Star Racing League competition. This week we are at North Wilkesboro for week number 10. Next week we go to Kern County. And then we wrap things up for the season at Hickory. Going to be an exciting 150-lap race there. But I'm also looking forward to Kern County next week, one of my favorite tracks. Should be a very fun one for the All-Star Racing League. And it looks like Justin Coleman will take that outside lane. It's going to be a very exciting restart here. You got to wonder if Coleman might leave that door open on the bottom side to get a little squirrely, but we'll see what he can do. As it is in the hands of that 14 machine right here. He's going to pull up out and ahead of the 56. The pace car is going to make the hard left turn down pit road and through the Coleman Design restart zone. We are back underway. As, Brian Voss did not get through the gears well right there. He had Brandon Elvis shoving him into turns 1 and 2. As Justin Coleman gets out to the early race lead, here comes Dalton Creech trying to take over the second spot. As through turns 3 and 4, white flag is out. One more lap to go here at North Wilkesboro. Justin Coleman trying to sweep the week in ASRL competition. Big bumper to the back of the 56 of Brian Voss. Big save in turns 1 and 2. As they go into turns 3 and 4, they're 3 wide back behind. A little bit of beating and banging, but Justin Coleman is going to win at North Wilkesboro. A huge crash after the line. You saw everybody giving it everything they had into turns 3 and 4. Connor Lee, big damage on the 8 machine. But Justin Coleman gets out the broom this week in the All-Star Racing League and sweeps week number 10 at North Wilkesboro. Coleman going to park right there for a temporary photo. And then burn it down on the front straightaway. We'll take one quick step away here before we wrap things up. We'll be back in just one moment here on True Sim Productions. I'm your host from the WD Broadcasting Network, Winston Deal. Be back to wrap things up from the North Wilkesboro Speedway. Alrighty, folks, we are back here on True Sim Productions, ready to grab a word from our top 3 finishers. Starting with first, our third place finisher in the 54 machine. He finished third last night as well. See if we can grab a word up into the broadcast booth. Brandon Elvis, you got a copy?
Hey, man.
Alrighty, well, you started in the 4th spot here tonight. Ran second and third the majority of that one long green flag run, brought it down pit road, and looked just tough to get back up through the field.
Yeah, those guys that, for whatever reason, never took tires, that was kind of, I don't really know what they were thinking there. It wasn't going to work. But that kind of bottled us up, and you get into one lane and it was moving. Then you get down to the other lane and you get bottled up down there. It was just kind of hard to get back through traffic. But Coleman did it best and got the win. Congrats to him. I think him and Voss had pretty much the best cars all night anyway. So the finishing order is probably where it should have been, but just glad we stayed out of trouble and brought it home third. Probably lose the points lead this week, but we'll battle back.
Yeah, the points definitely going to be very, very close after this week at Wilkesboro. But still a good run for you in the 3rd spot. You finished 3rd last night as well. Who do you have to thank that helps get you on the podium week in, week out, night in, night out?
Yeah, this is my wife for letting me do this. Mom and Dad, Coleman Design, Chestnut Hill Restaurant, Barry Ellis Performance and Fab. I worked there. I should know their name. Coastal Performance, Shotgun Racing Performance. My teammates at ECR. Congrats to Justin on the win tonight. Good battle with Dalton there at the end. Chris and my little brother Justin, and thanks for you putting on the broadcast, man.
Yeah, it's always a fun time. We've got 2 more races left this season. You say you might lose the points lead after this evening, but it's going to be close in these final 2 races. What do you have to do in that 54 machine to come out on top?
Well, it was with the drops calculated in. Voss came in and 1 point behind me, so I'm pretty much going to have to win out, I believe.
Win out for the 54 machine. We'll see if you can do it. You have 3 victories already this season, so you're no stranger to victory lane. But nonetheless, congratulations to you on your 3rd place run here tonight, and we wish you luck in the final 2 races.
I appreciate it, Winston.
Yes, sir. Alrighty, folks, that was your 3rd place finisher, Brandon Elvis. Now we'll talk to our 2nd place finisher we talked to him earlier on here tonight. He qualified on the pole. He's going to come home in the 2nd spot. Brian Voss up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, Winston. Got you.
Alrighty, well, we talked to you earlier on, heard your strategy. You looked to have a good strategy, came down pit road with the lead. A couple cars ended up staying out, and you had some traffic to sort through. Looked like the 14 might have just had the better lane there on that restart.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be asking a tall task to this race to go clean and green. Really didn't need a caution at all. I thought we had a really good long run speed. It was pretty surprising. But we could also dictate pace. So that really was beneficial. You just got mired back in traffic. That bottom lane needed to get to the inside of Connor there on the entry. And then once we didn't do that, I knew he'd jump down and just stacked up. And Coleman was ready to roll the top. And just from there on, it was just a hassle to get through him. And Coleman had the gap and just had nothing for him and used up way too much tire running that bottom.
Yeah, definitely looked like a tough task there to pass, but still a great run for you here tonight. You might be able to take over that points lead from Brandon Elvis. We've got 2 races left, Brian, and with you and Brandon so close, what do you have to do to pick up another championship here in the Chestnut Hill Late Model Stock Series?
I think hopefully get to win next time, but kind of what we've been doing the past couple weeks and even tonight, just setting the tone, getting to pole, kind of just keep applying pressure, get some bonus points for leading laps, fast lap, staying out of trouble. Hopefully it just comes down to the last race. I didn't think it would get to this point as dominant as Brendan was earlier, but we'll sure take it.
Yeah, you've definitely closed that gap up. Off to a slow start from the beginning of the season, but this back half, it has been an entire Brian Voss show. Coming up with a 2nd place finish here tonight. Who do you have to thank for another podium finish?
First and foremost, we're all racing with heavy hearts. My buddy Sam Scarpelli, we lost him last week, so that's definitely unfortunate. I know he's in a much better place and no longer struggling, so that's all we can ask for. We can't really be selfish when we think about it. But yeah, just was hoping to get the win for him tonight. Kind of threw it back to the Bailey's 56 when I first met Sammy in early, I guess late 90s, early 2000s. We both helped a team out of Moncks Corner, South Carolina, TWB Motorsports with Robert Powell driving, and it was Bailey's 56, which I think Mac Bailey sponsored 20-something cars in the Southeast. But it was pretty cool to run this car, kind of throw it back to where I got my start in racing on a pit crew. But definitely Jay and Scott on tap dispense services. Um, Sugar Moth Cakes and Confections, Florence Motor Speedway, Rain Total Body Fuel, Fuel by Middle Light, Chris Lee, Chestnut Hill, Barry Elvis Performance and Fab. You, like always, we're a broken record, but you do a great job, so we thank you. And just looking forward to these last two races. It wasn't as much as we want, but we'll take it. Always beer money for the crew. We can get to the top three.
Yes, always get the beer money when you're on the top three. Next week, we head to the Kern County Raceway Park. One of my favorite tracks. I haven't really had much experience in late model stock cars. You'd probably be the guy to ask, but what's the secret there at Kern?
Best I can remember, it's been a little while since I ran it. I don't think I've ran it since the gate on the back wall would kind of bite you. So hopefully that doesn't happen this time, and they got that patch on that. But it was a very distinctive line, all about momentum, and you never really know what we're going to have at the setup. So kind of just wait for that to get posted, maybe log some laps, and then get in there with everyone else, see where we stack up. But it's going to be the same thing as every week. Just find some speed, keep the tires underneath it, hopefully get track position, dictate pace, and just always stay out of trouble. These restarts can get pretty dicey, as you can see tonight.
Yeah, you guys definitely had your work cut out for you after you took tires, but still a great run for you here, Brian. Congratulations to you on your second place run here tonight.
Thanks, Winston, and I've got to congratulate Coleman. He did a great job getting to the field and getting the win tonight.
Yes, sir, of course. Thanks, Brian. Alrighty. That was Brian Voss, driver of the number 56 machine here tonight. And now we will grab a word from our our victor here tonight. 2 nights in a row, picks up the broom and sweeps the week here in All-Star Racing League competition. Justin Coleman up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. What's going on?
Alrighty, Justin. Picked up the victory for the second night in a row. We talked to you last night after your victory in the Super Late Model Division. You started 7th here tonight, drove your way up to the 3rd spot on that long green flag run, sat behind Brandon there for a minute, and after you came down pit road and got some tires, you shot out of a cannon on that restart and jumped up to the top spot.
Yeah, man, you got to take advantage of them new tires while they're still new. I knew that top side would roll pretty good, and took advantage of it, man. I had to make some money moves, and luckily it worked out on our end. Got us out front in that clean air.
Yeah, definitely helped you once you got out front. Started to open up that gap a little bit, but similar to what we saw last night, we saw that 14 machine rolling up on the top side, so you definitely had it figured out here at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. Who helped you figure it out, and who helps get this 14 to the racetrack and into victory lane like we saw this week?
First and foremost, I want to not shout out, but shoot my prayers out to the family and friends of Sam Scarpelli. I know he passed away not too long ago, and I know they changed the laps to 96 in honor of him, so just want to give out prayers to his friends and family. Shout out to my team, ECR. As always, greatest group of guys to run with, man. It's fun week in and week out, hanging out with them. Shout out all my sponsors, Coleman Design, Chestnut Hill, the restaurant, Barry Elvis Performance and Fabrication, Coastal Performance, Shockeye Racing Performance, Gibbs Brothers Construction, BH Homes Construction, and Parker Brothers Window Tinting. And shout out to you for WD Broadcasting. Put on an amazing broadcast.
Yes, sir, Justin. It's always fun to have you up here in the booth and talk to you post-race. You came into this evening, I'm not quite sure where you were at with the drop weeks factored in, but about 29 points behind. The victory here tonight's going to help you. What can you do in these final 2 races to pick up another All-Star Racing League Late Model Stock Championship?
Oof, man, it's going to be tough. It's tight, and Brian Voss and Brandon Elvis is no joke. I mean, they show that week in and week out, so it's going to be tough, but I'm going to have to keep our nose clean, get as many bonus points as we possibly can and finish as high as we can. We're gonna have to grind it out. 2 races left, and it's tight. Top 3 is real tight, so just no mistakes, and hope luck is on your side. That's about all you can do.
Yeah, you definitely have to be lucky. Sometimes it's better to be the lucky guy than the fast guy, but nonetheless, you had it figured out here tonight. Had a lot of speed in that 14 machine, and congratulations to you on your victory. We wish you luck in the final 2 weeks, Justin.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it a lot.
Alrighty, folks, that was Justin Coleman in the 14 machine, picking up his 3rd victory of the season here tonight at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. He's going to burn it down one more time for you guys and pull it back to pit road. But we will take a look at our final finishing results. It's up on screen. Justin Coleman came home with the victory. Brian Voss in the 2nd spot. Brandon Elvis 3rd. Dalton Creech ends up in the 4th spot. Brandon Kelly 5th in the 9. Adam Fulford ended up 6th in the 71 machine, the 96 machine tonight. Connor Lee ends up 7th in the 8. Brad Carpenter 8th in the 31. Owen Zacharias 9th in the 35. Chris Smith ended up 10th after leading on that, or after that. The pit stops. David Rogers comes home 11th. Jeffrey Miller 12th, and Justin Elvis 13th, 5 laps down. So a good race here tonight. Justin Coleman shot out of a cannon on that restart to pick up the victory here at North Wilkesboro. Obviously, prayers and our deepest condolences to the friends and family of Sam Scarpelli. Raced in honor of him here tonight at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. I think that's going to wrap it up for us here tonight. We've got 2 weeks left in All-Star Racing League competition this season, and a lot of exciting action to come. Kern County and Hickory next week. Tomorrow night, the Lead the Pack iRacing League finishes up their season in the Street Stock Showdown at the Lanier National Speedway. The mini stocks also make the mini stocks run their 3rd race of the season, scheduled for Slinger. We'll see if that stands tomorrow, but nonetheless, going to be an exciting night of racing. You'll want to check that out over on the WD Broadcasting Network on Facebook. But until then, I'm your host, Winston Deal, from the WD Broadcasting Network on Facebook. Thanking you guys for tuning in here this evening and showing all the support to True Sim Productions and my Facebook as well. But we'll see you guys tomorrow night on Facebook and next week here on YouTube. Till then, I'm your host, Winston Deal, signing it off. Peace out.